Okay, let's get right into it. We're all pretty familiar with AI that can chat, write, and even do some research for us. But there's a new wave coming, and this one is built not just to think, but to do. We're talking about AI agents, and trust me, they're about to change everything about how work gets done.
Yeah.
That one sentence, it just nails the entire shift we're talking about here. This isn't just some small upgrade, it's a fundamental change in what AI is even for. Think about it. It's the difference between having a super smart encyclopedia that answers your questions and having a personal assistant who actually gets things done for you. So it's easy to hear a phrase like thought to action and think, yeah, sounds cool, but what does that actually mean for me? Well, it has some seriously practical implications. I mean, what does it really look like when AI can just go and do things for you all by itself? That's exactly what we're going to break down.
All right, first up, to really get our heads around this whole idea, we have to draw a super clear line in the sand between the AI we all know and the AI that's just now starting to emerge. We're talking about leaving the world of simple chatbots behind and stepping into a world where AI has agency. So here's the official definition. But the one word you really need to focus on is agency, right? An AI agent isn't just sitting there waiting for you to type in a command. No way. It's designed to be proactive. It's built to work towards a goal and actually make things happen, whether it's for you or for an entire business system. And this slide just lays it out perfectly. The old way, the thought way, is asking an AI, hey, tell me about the market for electric vehicles. It gives you information. We all know how that works. The new way, the action way, is saying, hey, go analyze the latest EV market data, build a slide deck on the key trends, and then email it to the marketing team. See the difference? That's a total game changer.
So, how in the world does an agent go from a simple request like that to a finished, multi-step project? It really sounds like magic, but it's not. It's actually a pretty logical process. Let's pop the hood and see how it works. Okay, so it all kicks off with step 1. You give it a goal. Simple enough. But then check out step 2, because this is where it gets really cool. The system acts like a master project manager. It breaks that big goal down into smaller tasks and hands them off to specialized sub-agents. You might have one that's a data wizard, another that's a brilliant designer, and they all work together. Then, and this is so important, we get to step 3, improve. It actually comes back to you for feedback. It's a loop. It wants to make sure it's on the right track. And only after all that does it move to step 4, execute. It pulls the trigger and actually does the thing. Sends the email, publishes the report, you name it. Now, it's super important to realize that not all agents are created equal. AI agent isn't just one thing. It's more like a spectrum, or maybe a ladder of capabilities. It goes from a simple helper all the way up to what's basically a virtual workforce. So let's climb that ladder and look at the 5 main types. First up, at the bottom of the ladder, you've got your Copilot agents. You've probably already run into these. Microsoft 365 Copilot is the perfect example. Think of it as your personal sidekick, right? It's there to help you draft an email, summarize a long doc, or speed up your coding. It's all about making you more productive. All right, taking one step up, we get to workflow automation platforms. Now we're moving beyond helping just one person. These agents act more like digital orchestrators for your business. They can take an entire process that already exists, like processing an invoice from start to finish, and just handle it. No human babysitter required for every single step. Okay, now we're getting into the really mind-blowing stuff. Gen AI native agents. These guys don't just speed up your old, clunky processes. No, they are used to completely reimagine them, building brand new, hyper-efficient ways of working from the ground up. So instead of just helping a customer service rep, they can become the foundation for a whole new way of doing customer service. And if you take that idea and apply it to an entire company, well, now you're talking about an AI native enterprise. This isn't about tweaking one department. This is a complete teardown and rebuild of the whole company. Its processes, its structure, its business model, everything. Rebuilt with AI agents at the very core. It's basically the 2020s version of digital transformation. And at the very top of the ladder, we have the most disruptive category of all, AI virtual workers. This is exactly what it sounds like. We're talking about agents that are, for all intents and purposes, digital employees. You can assign them to a team, give them a role, and have them collaborate with human colleagues on complex projects. This is where AI stops being just a tool and truly becomes a new kind of workforce. So, this technology is obviously fascinating, right? But what about the bottom line? Why should businesses care, and why are they pouring so much money into this? Let's talk about the actual tangible value these agents are poised to create. $4.4 trillion. With a T, that is the insane amount of annual value that McKinsey estimates generative AI could create for businesses. It's a mind-boggling number. And AI agents, they're seen as the key that's going to unlock a huge slice of that pie and do it way faster than we ever thought possible. So how do they do it? Well, it really boils down to three huge advantages. First, they aren't brittle like old-school automation that just errors out if one little thing changes. Agents can actually adapt. Second, you don't need to be a coder to use them. You can just direct them using plain English, which means almost anyone can leverage their power. And third, and this is a big one, they can work with the software tools you already use, which means no massive, painful integration projects. And listen, this is not just some futuristic theory. It's happening right now. Just look at Lenovo. Their COO said they saw double-digit productivity gains in call handling time after putting AI agents in their customer service department. That's real money, real efficiency, being created today. But, a change this massive is never a walk in the park. It's not all sunshine and productivity gains. There are some pretty serious hurdles on the horizon that organizations really need to think through before diving in headfirst. And you might be surprised to hear that the single biggest hurdle, it isn't the tech, it's us. It's human trust. I mean, think about it. Will employees trust an AI to do their tasks correctly? Will customers trust an AI agent with their problems? Because if that trust isn't there, it doesn't matter how amazing the technology is. It's just not going to take off. The good news is, smart companies are already tackling this head-on. Here's a fantastic example from a bank. They knew trust was an issue, so they built a kind of digital safety net. They created a system designed to check the AI's work for any errors or hallucinations before an answer ever gets to a customer. It's all about building in those guardrails to create systems you can actually rely on. And trust is just the beginning. There are other huge mountains to climb. You've got massive change management. We're talking about rewiring how entire departments work. Then there's data protection, which has to be an absolute priority from day one. And finally, you have to completely rethink your IT infrastructure. The old way just won't cut it when you have thousands of these agents all working at once. So, when you boil it all down, if you're still thinking of AI agents as just another software tool, you're missing the big picture. What we're really looking at is a new kind of workforce. And that means the question for all of us, for leaders, for teams, for you, is no longer if these agents will join your team. That's a given. The real question is, how are you going to be ready for them?